Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be a video to show you how to use and how to make all the new productions on Upper Mississippi River Valley, or UMRV 4X. This is a map for PC only. If you haven't checked out my map tour, a card's going to pop up on your screen right now. Go check that out first. But we're going to go over the products you can make in here that are kind of added onto this map, which is whiskey, beer, wine, pasta, oatmeal, soy milk, chips, ethanol, and dry corn. So those are the 9 new productions that are found on this map, built into this map. We're going to talk about how to make those, and we're also going to talk about how much money you can make them, or how much money you can make from doing these every month, and what inputs and everything like that. So we're going to go over all that information for you, hopefully in a fairly quick video. One thing I will note is that this mod map has not been released as of this video being posted, and in addition to that, some of these numbers may change in the future, but what I can tell you is that these should be where they're at in terms of right now. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, first up on our list is going to be the whiskey production, and down below in the YouTube slider bar, you can skip ahead to whatever special production you are looking to access or get more information about, so you can skip ahead down there. But here we are at the whiskey production facility. It's marked right here on the map. It is just to the left of Field 4 as well on this map, down here by the river. So here we go. Now this gate, you can see in there where we're going to purchase the factory. You can't get in this gate, at least from the outside. You can see there's these control boxes, which are seen right there, that you can access them. But there's a gate at the other end that has a control box on the outside, so I find it's easier to get in this way. Come over here, click that, and then we are in the factory here. If we run back over to the other end, we can actually open this guy up from this side right here, and then you're good to go. Right here is where you're going to purchase the production facility. So if I come here, it's $110,000 to buy this factory. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that. Oh, we don't have enough money. Let's go ahead and get that fixed real quick. Let's add ourselves in some money here. Perfect. All right, we go ahead and purchase that. $110,000. We now own it. You can now use this if I hit R to access it. Whiskey production has whiskey right here, which is going to take 4 corn, 1 barley, and 2 water to make 4 whiskey. So you can see all of your incoming materials over here and your outgoing products here. Now, if you don't know how to use production facilities in general, I'd recommend watching a tutorial on that. I'm going to cover the specifics for these guys, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in terms of how they work and everything like that, or how production specifically work. We're just going to talk about the benefits of all these here. So all you have to do is provide it with these products here, which you can do pretty easily. As you can see over here, this is where we're going to dump all of our products in, and then they should spawn out right here. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to go into the menu here to make some whiskey. I do have a mod installs that allows me to purchase some of the products that are going in there. So I'm just going to purchase some of those real quick. And then we're going to make sure that one's activated. We're going to buy some water here. Perfect. So now it's actually going to start making some of the whiskey here, and that should be plenty to get us some spawning out. And let's make sure that's actually in spawning there. Storing. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and fast forward some time here to get some whiskey out. And there we go. We got our first pallet of whiskey. So it makes it fairly quickly, and it makes quite a bit. So here we go. And I don't have super strength on right now. It does say that's 1.1 tons. So you're not going to be able to lift this if you're on, well, I guess you're not going to be able to be on console, unfortunately, on this map, but Clutch is special, Brown. I love it. Canada's finest whiskey. It's fantastic. K-Bot Distillery. That is amazing. That's legend. But there you go. If you haven't checked out Clutch's Simulations YouTube channel, make sure you guys go check that out. That's what they're talking about there. But there you go. So you just put your inputs in. You can dump them all in there. And other than that, that's pretty much the whole factory. There's some detail back here, but nothing else you really need to worry about. And that's how you're going to be able to make your whiskey. You can either turn super strength on and lift those manually, or what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to use a pallet forks or something like that to move it. But there you go. That's the whiskey production. All right, and here we are at the beer factory here. This is going to be located on the map right here. This factory right here. Oh, not that one, sorry. Beer factory right here. The oil mill's right next to it. You can see the oil mill right there, but the beer factory is what we're focused on right now. So to come up here, we can open this guy up by clicking on these boxes right here. Go into here. This is, let's get around to here. This is where the beer factory itself is going to be. You can see we can purchase it right here for $110,000. We go and buy that. And if we go ahead and take a look inside the production menu, we can just hit R here. It's going to take us to the beer, which beer requires barley and water to make beer. So pretty simple, 3 barley, 2 water, you're going to make your beer here. And again, I'm not going to go into detail on how the productions themselves specifically work in terms of how production chains work in Farming Simulator 22. I'm just going to talk about these productions specifically. So all you have to do is dump in barley and water, and you're going to be able to start manufacturing beer. Make sure it's on. It is on right now. You can deactivate or activate it. Let's go ahead and put some materials in here just to make sure we have enough, hopefully, to make some beer here. There we go. That should be plenty there. And it's activated on storing. So all you're going to do, all those products you're going to dump right into this dump icon right here. And then all the beer should start spawning out here, which if we just fast forward some more time for us, We should get some beer out of here pretty quick. And there we go. We got our first pallet of beer. Walk up over to it. Looks great. Fantastic. Traditional lager right there. Sounds great. 1.1 tons, 1,000 liters of beer in a pallet right there. And there you go. And you're going to have to use pallet forks or however else to get these guys moving around. But in general, that is everything you need to know about the beer factory. All those different icons and everything you need to do is on this side of it. You can drive out this end. And again, there's a lot of good detail around the edge of it. Really good looking factory. But there you go. That is the beer production. All right, next up, we have the wine production. You can see right here just in front of us. This is located right here on the map, the Franzia Winery, just to the right of Field 59, right next to the river there. So we can come in here. You can open this gate by clicking this icon here. And right inside, we have the icon to be able to purchase it, $80,000. We'll go ahead and buy that. And if we hit R right here, it's going to take us into this menu here, which it does also produce grape juice and raisins. But the big benefit here that we have is wine, which is going to require 5 grapes, 3 water, and 1 sugar to make 5 wine. And there you go. So you have it on storing right now. All those guys are activated. And you have your inputs over here. So we're going to go ahead and add in some inputs just so we can produce some wine here. It does require actually a lot of grapes. So I'm going to make sure we have a good amount of grapes in there and a good amount of all the materials that we're going to need there. There we go. And again, I'm using a mod to buy the production inputs. So in terms of where you put the stuff in, if we walk around, this whole facility is going to be your winery here. So this is where you're going to dump stuff in. It's so interesting how they got the bridge going over the top too. I think that's a great detail. But this is where all those materials are going to get dumped in, is right there. And where they're going to spawn out should be, oh, actually it's going to be around here, isn't it? Just right over here for us. Right there is where all that stuff's going to spawn in. So if we go ahead and fast forward just a little bit of time here, there we go. Oh, we got some grape juice coming in, but there's the wine right there. And again, 1.1 tons, you're not gonna be able to move it, but you got some boxed wine here. There you go, very, very classy. But there you go, Franzia wine right there for you. That is how you're gonna make wine. You're gonna have to use pallet forks or somewhere else to sell it, but there you go. That is everything you need to know about the wine production on UMRV. All right, and next up, to make pasta, you're going to want to go to the bakery production point, which works as a Tim Hortons, or it looks as a Tim Hortons on this map. It's going to be located right here on the map, just to the left of Field 17, right next to the BP gas station, as well as, what else around here? Applebee's restaurant, all that good stuff right in here. So here, this icon right here allows you to buy it. It's going to be $50,000 to buy. And if we go in here, let's just hit R there. It'll take us right in here where we have bread and cake, as well as the new product pasta. So you can go ahead and add flour, water, and eggs in here, and you're gonna get 3 pasta from that. So over here, it has all of your incoming materials and your outgoing ones here on storing. That's perfect. I'm gonna deactivate some of these to make sure we don't have a lot of random stuff getting put out there, but we need flour, water, and eggs. Let's go ahead and put some of that in here. And again, I'm using a mod to buy stuff for the productions. There we go. And that should be plenty there. And again, all your stuff is going to get dumped right here. This is where we're going to put it into the factory over here. I love you got to drive through so many cool details. And then over here is where all your products are going to spawn out in this little checkered area here. So if we go ahead and just fast forward a little bit of time, we should start seeing some pasta very soon. And there we go. We have our first box of pasta. You guys probably recognize this box here. Got some nice penne pasta out there. It's a 1 ton here, 1,000 liters of pasta. You're gonna need a pallet fork to move that guy around. But there you go. That is how you make pasta on UMRV. All right, next up, we are gonna make some oatmeal. We're down here at the cereal factory, which is located right here on the map. You're gonna access it through this road around the back here, just to the right of Field 58 near the spinnery down here. So if we come up here, we can open this gate here by clicking on these boxes here. There's another gate at the other end. As we walk in, we have the icon to purchase right here, $110,000. If we hit R again to go in here and take a look, we can make cereal, yes, but now we can make oatmeal using honey and oats. So I'm gonna go ahead and deactivate that guy. If we wanna make some oatmeal, I'm gonna go ahead and just put what we need in here. Let's get them some honey and get some oats in here as well. There we go, that should be plenty there. So again, you just have to put those 2 materials in to get this out. And we're gonna put those materials in. We go right, it's gonna be right around the back here, sorry. Right here, this is where you're gonna put those materials in. So you dump your oats and honey and whatever else you want to in there. And then over here, at this checkered point, this is where your pallets are gonna spawn out. So if we just fast forward a little bit of time here, we should start seeing some oatmeal start to pop out for us. And right there, just like that. And that looks like cereal for me, but might be labeled as oatmeal. Oh, it is oatmeal. Look at that. It just looks very similar. I love that. Different brands on there. Got all sorts of oatmeals on there. But there you go. 1,000 liters oatmeal, 860 kilograms. So you are going to need to use pallet forks or super strength to move that bad boy around. But there you go. That's how you're going to make oatmeal on UMRV. All right, next up, how to make soy milk. Here we are at Country View Dairy, which is located right here on the map, basically a dairy production point. So right there in this main town area, just to the left of Field 17 here. So if we come up here, we can click these boxes to get these guys to open up. And just over here is where we're gonna have to purchase the facility, $70,000. There we go. And then we hit R again. It'll take us in here. We can make butter, cheese, and chocolate per normal. But now we have soy milk, which requires soy, water, and sugar to make soy milk. So let's go ahead and we're just going to deactivate all of these guys here. We'll leave soy milk activated, and we're going to go ahead and put in the required materials for soy milk. Get some water in there. There we go. That should be enough to make at least 1,000 liters of soy milk. So we're going to make some soy milk out here in just a second. This is where the soy milk and all the other products are going to spawn, is right here in this checkered area. Now, if you drive around the backside following one of these roads, this is where you're going to dump all your products in. And again, this loops back around this way. So really easy point to actually use in terms of production. So there we go. But let's hang out up here for a second. Let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit of time. Let's see if we can get a pallet of soy milk spawned in here. And there we go. Pretty quick to get some soy milk spawned in. So we go take a look over here. There we go. Soy milk right there. Very vanilla soy milk. We didn't put any vanilla in, but there you go. Fantastic. 492 kilograms. And this one only has 432 liters. So it's not a full 1,000 liter pallet. So just be aware of that. And again, you'd have to use super strength to move these or pallet forks. But that should be everything you need to know about how to make soy milk in UMRV. All right, next up, we have the chips factory right here just in front of us. So if we take a look at the map, we are up here. The Lay's factory is how it's going to be labeled here. So you're just going to go in this entrance right here. We're going to go ahead and open it up using this guy right here. If we walk in just on the right-hand side, this is the office area where we can purchase it. $110,000 to buy. And if we hit R again to go into here and take a look, you're only going to be able to make chips here using potatoes and canola oil. So 3 potatoes and 1 canola oil gets you chips out here. That is already activated. We're going to go ahead and put some of the inputs in here. Just so we make sure we have the stuff we need to make some chips. And there we go. And then the chips will start spawning out for us. So right here, this is where your chips are going to spawn out. So pallets of chips will start spawning there. If we walk around the backside, this is where you're going to put your canola oil and your potatoes in to start making some chips. So there you go. And a lot of these do serve as sell points as well, I should note, when you're not actively making products from or you don't own the facility. So those points where they're sell points, this is where you're going to sell them, is all those points you're going to put all the inputs in. Let's go and fast forward some time and see if we can't get some pallets of chips out here. Any second now, any day. The chips are coming. There we go. Took us a little bit to get some chips there, so a little bit slower production. But here we go. We have a pallet of chips. 1,000 liters of chips, weighs 910 kilograms. So you're going to have to use pallet forks or super strength to move these guys around, but looks fantastic. And there you go. That is everything you need to know about how to make chips. All right, next up, how to make ethanol. I'm in flight mode for a reason. This is a very large facility, and I think it'll be easier to kind of show it off from kind of an aerial perspective here. So this is on the map up here. This whole facility is the ethanol facility. Again, you can purchase all the land on the map if you'd like to. But if we go back in there, again, it has Suncor Ethanol as a sell point, and then we also have the Suncor Ethanol production facility there. So right here is kind of your main entrance. So if you come in this way, you're going to want to probably, well, honestly, you can head in either way, but you can go in either way. If you come in the gate here, just over here, we have the main office, which is where this trigger is to be able to purchase it, which it may not let me do if I'm in flight mode here. So let's go ahead and hop out of flight mode just for a second to be able to purchase this. Walk up here, it is $110,000 to buy. And if we go into it here, it's got our ethanol production, which is going to require 4 dry corn, sorghum, propane, and corn here. So again, corn and sorghum, pretty self-explanatory how to get. Now, how do you get this dry corn? Well, the next production we're going to talk about is going to be dry corn. So make sure you check that one out in terms of this video to make sure you know how to make dry corn. Basically, you're just putting corn into a dryer, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, propane. There is a propane fuel point up on the map. If we actually zoom out here, you should be able to purchase it down in here. Yeah, right there, propane. I haven't tested what the price is over here. So the price I am using for all of my examples is going to be the one that's in the store, which if you go to pallets, and we scroll down to the very end, there is a propane tank here, 2,000 liters of propane in this bad boy right here. So it's $600 per 1,000 liters. So that's another way to get it. I recommend using, again, there should be tankers built in here. If we go take a look, I believe the animal ones will be able to haul it. Oh, maybe not. They might be under miscellaneous, sorry. In terms of hauling propane. Oh, well, there may not be one actually on this map. I thought there had been one on there, but there are propane tanks and other modded features out there that allow you to bulk haul propane around, and that could be missing something in terms of what you use to haul it, but that would probably be the easiest way to get propane out here. But again, if we go back into flight mode here, let's keep taking a look at this guy right here. So again, that geeks you out to this section here. You can keep driving around if you'd like to, out to here. There are some other details and stuff out here that we'll take a look at here in a second. But over here is going to be your 2 inputs. On the left-hand side is the sell point. On the right-hand side is where you're going to put your inputs for factory production. So again, you can see on the map here, left-hand side is the ethanol sell point, or right-hand side is the Suncor Ethanol production. So you're gonna want to put your produced goods in there, what you want to use for production, right there. So that's what you're gonna want to do there. And you can even see out there, this is your in here. So that's where you're gonna want to get stuff in there. Now in terms of where your stuff is gonna spawn, you can see we do have a nice little pallet spawn point right over here. So if we hop into the menu here, go back into our productions, and take a look at this, it's activated. Let's go ahead and get some materials in here to make sure we have plenty of stuff going on here. Get some propane in there. And you also could have this mod installed since you're on PC, which allows you to buy propane, though it is obviously much more expensive to do the buying of inputs this way as well. So just be aware of that. Storing, if we go ahead and fast forward just a little bit of time here. And there we go. It's already starting to happen. If we just fly right up over to it. There we go. We have some ethanol right there. E85, 85% ethanol. So right there, you're gonna get boxes of ethanol out there. And again, this thing's gonna weigh 940 kilograms and has 1,000 liters per box in it. And that is everything you need to know about how to make ethanol. So let's go ahead and jump over and talk about how to make some dried corn. All right, so here is one of the mini corn dryers built into this map. So if we take a look, there are several on here. This is the one on the new farm for new farmers. There's that right there, Circle Farms corn dryer, Dry Creek corn dryer, Valley Bluff corn dryer. There probably is one up here. Yep, Stanley Dairy grain dryer. So there's plenty of dryers all around in terms of this. So if we go up here, even if you own the land, you still have to come up and you have to purchase it. It's not very much, $30,000 to buy. And if we hit R to go back in here, it's going to take us in here. 1,000 liters of corn and 100 liters of propane, which we already talked about how to get. But in case you skipped right ahead to just learn about corn drying, propane can be purchased either at the bulk buy point right down here, or you can also purchase it if you go into the store under pallets. Right there for a propane tank, $1,200 for 2,000 liters. So all you're gonna do is put your inputs into here, and then you're also gonna get your dried corn out this way as well as a grain product. So it's not gonna produce pallets of it. So just a little bit different in terms of that, but then you can haul it wherever you need to go, or you can sell it. But now the big moment that you guys have all been waiting for, is it really worth it to do this? So right now on your screen is going to be a chart that's going to pop up that says UMRV production at the top. And what I'm going to tell you is this is all based on normal economy mode. So if you're on hard mode, you're going to make less money. And if you're on easy mode, you're going to make more money proportionally. I also am not including water as a cost. So any of these productions that require water, I'm going to assume you can figure out how to get it for free. So just be aware of that there might be a little added cost if you're buying water from a buy point. Then if we go down to the chart here, we have all the products on there on the left-hand side, all listed down. Then the input cost, the output cost. So the input cost is how much it costs per cycle to produce it. So we'll talk about that in a second. And then the output is how much you're making per cycle, how much you're going to make if you sell the outputs per cycle. And the profit per cycle is how much profit you're making on top of your input and output being subtracted to get your profit per cycle. Also at the very bottom, profit per month. We're going to talk about that in a second. So that's how much profit you're going to make per month. So let's talk about whiskey just to go across as an example. So if we actually hop back over here to the game and I go into the menu here and we take a look at the whiskey production at the very top. So what we're taking a look at, this input is how much it costs for whiskey specifically. The input is how much it costs for 4 liters of corn, 1 liter of barley. And then again, I'm saying the water's free in this case. And then the output is going to be how much you make from selling 4 liters of whiskey at a good price. And I'll show you all the prices I use for this at the very end as well. I'll put a chart that has just all the prices that I'm using and where they're coming from. I use the Steam price sheet, which is linked down below in the description to kind of help guide you. It has a set of prices on there, and I use the average price on there. Or a good price on there. So make sure you guys take a look at that. But yeah, and then cycles per month. To make how much profit you make per month, I take the profit per cycle, which is calculated from this, and I multiply it by how many times this would run per month. So you only make that much money every month if you have all of the inputs completely filled for what it needs every month. So just be aware of that. So if we hop back over to the production cycle here, or excuse me, the chart here, whiskey, you're making $22.68 or $2.68 per cycle, and then going down to dry corn, you're making $1,583 per cycle. But the main thing is how much you're making per month. So you can see some of these make more or less per cycle. And how I get the input costs, that's if you would take those inputs and you would sell them separately instead of producing something with them. So with the whiskey, instead of taking the barley, I think it's barley and corn, was it? Instead of taking the barley and corn of the other inputs and producing whiskey, it'd be how much you would get from it if you just sold those separately. So just to kind of show if it's worth actually doing it or if it's worth just selling the products by themselves. So every single thing on here is profitable. If we go down to profit per month, whiskey, you can make just over 100 grand per month if you have it full. Beer, you make around 32,000 a month. Wine, over 100,000. Pasta, about 33,000. Oatmeal is the worst at 11,000. Soy milk, 34,000. Chips, in even 30,000. Ethanol does really good at 180,000. I think that's one of the best ones on here. And then dry corn does make you 3.8 million per month, but the caveat here is it's because it produces it so quickly. So you need to provide this thing in order to make that. You need to provide it 2.4 million liters of corn per month, which would be almost impossible to do by yourself. So you're probably not going to be ever able to max out how much corn or dry corn you can produce. So just be aware of that. So I did note that you could make 3.8 million, but it'd be very hard to do so. Plus you also have to deliver propane to it and everything like that. And now the chart that's going to show up on your screen is going to have all of the prices used. So you can see on the top of that list, prices used and inputs, all those are come from the Steam price sheet, except for dry corn is the highest price for the selling price. And then actually I don't have propane. Oh, I do have propane on there, which is the store pallet price. Okay, there it is. And then the output. So that's how much you're selling these products for. So I have whiskey at $6,494 per 1,000 liters. So as long as you're getting that price or above, you're going to make those level of profit or higher than that when you're doing this. But there you guys go. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and for watching.